Subliminal messaging, or stimuli, a technique mostly used in advertising, are messages or an idea specifically designed to be absorbed by our unconscious minds, whether they be auditory or visual. Nearly everyone is susceptible to these messages. My job is to use some of these techniques to drive you towards a goal. My name is Jamesief, and welcome to my documentary on subliminal messaging. First though, let's take a look at the word subliminal, meaning existing or functioning below the threshold of consciousness, getting us to believing or do something, without us knowing why. In 1957, James Vickery, a market researcher, conducted a 6-week test in a cinema in New Jersey to see if subliminal messaging really worked. Using a high-speed projector, he would repeatedly and subliminally project the words, "Eat popcorn and drink Coke," for 1/300th of a second over a film, in effort to affect the sales. Popcorn sales went up 57.5% and Coke sales 18.1%. At least that's what he claimed. He then admitted that the test was a hoax, but it sparked curiosity to see if subliminal messages can be used in a more subtle sense. Subliminal messaging can be used in music too, with something called backmasking. Ever heard a song with some backwards talking, then feel an urge to praise Satan?
If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alone there. It's just
Or you see an image of a demon in your head while listening. Spectrographs are used sometimes to confuse or spook the listeners when they investigated the noises. On the other hand, directing subliminal messages towards yourself can make a big difference, from just writing a note of what you want to achieve, improve health, something like that, and sticking it to a wall, to posting a beautiful picture like a flower or a landscape. It will give you a pleasant image in your mind and will remain as a happy memory throughout the day. Speaking of a thought that carries with you, what if I were to tell you you have a lot of emotions and drives that you don't know about because they've been programmed into your subconscious, like breathing. A lot would argue that they're primal instincts, which is in our human DNA, but if used properly, an idea can be coded in the same way. The most interesting scenario being in Darren Brown's experiments, where he programmed a man to kill Stephen Fry.
And you bring the gun up, breathe in, and then a comfortable, steady breathe out, and it's on that out breath that you squeeze the trigger.
His aim may improve, but more importantly, I'll also be creating the marksman mode he needs to slip into during the assassination attempt.
But it's pissing into the wind, isn't it? You can't.
Yeah, this is the culmination of quite a few months' work to see whether it's a gentleman called Chris, who's currently in a hypnotic trance, see whether it's possible to hypnotically program a person to kill. Chris, as far as he's concerned, just carried out a real assassination. Stephen was in on that, and there was no danger at all. Here he is. Stephen, everybody, out you come.
And so we've come to the end of my short documentary. I would talk a lot longer, but I'm no sort of professional or psychologist. So, my name is Jamesief, and thank you very much for watching my documentary on subliminal messaging.